doesn't make sense. But let's give you a real-life example of what happens today. So you walk into that big box store and you're preparing to buy that brand new TV, and the guy at the register tells you that it costs $130 to protect it. But really what's happening is that warranty really costs $30. It's coming from an insurance company who then gives it to the big box company and offers it to you for a marked up price. Well, Upsy takes that same $30 price, offers you a fair price and a fair market.
Started. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you get it's right. But you can. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Everybody have a seat. My name's Steve, and it's been 4 months since I started my last company. Oh, wait, wrong meeting, wrong meeting. Welcome. We've got, who here is the first time with 1 million cups? First time attending. Excellent. Welcome. Part of the experience is to introduce yourself to everybody, and then after the event, feel free to hang out, talk with other people, introduce yourself, find out what other people are doing. It's a great community. We're all friendly here, and that's kind of the biggest benefit that we see from hanging out here at 1 Million Cups is to talk to us. Louder? Is that better? I'll hold it on my chin. All right, we're going to have one presentation, and then afterward we're going to have the National 1 Million Cups. We are part of a group, the 1 Million Cups from the Kauffman Foundation. We're about 75 cities nationwide. We are one of the largest. Yay, Albuquerque. And they had a competition, if you remember, a few months ago called the 1 in a Million competition. And so they're having their finals in Kansas City right now, and they're live streaming them. So we'll talk to them after we talk to Teeniors with Trish Lopez and the other Teeniors. So we'll be talking for about 6 minutes, and then we'll have about a 20-minute conversation with them where you can ask them questions, make comments, that kind of thing. So I'd like to introduce Trish Lopez with Teeniors.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys who put on 1 Million Cups every Wednesday. I attend every chance I get. I can't always be here, but I love having the support of the community for our local startups. So thank you everyone for being here. Hold on one second.
Let's get a teenager up there.
Yeah, let's get a teenager here. Sarah's like, no. By the way, a few of our teenagers are here in the audience, but Sarah is representing the teen and 20-something element today, so welcome, Sarah. Everyone, I'm Trish Lopez, founder, CEO of Teeniors. And for those of you who have never heard me speak before, this is my mom, Lillian. She loves what technology does for her. She likes playing words with friends on her Kindle, checking out Facebook photos of our family, and she hates technology several times a month when we get the phone call, her kids. Gmail loses her password, Microsoft loses her documents, and we can't always be there to help. Turns out we're not alone in this problem. There are over 40 million Lillians in the US, and those are just the ones over 65. There are 100 million over the age of 50. For these people and those of us who love them, we offer Teeniors, tech-savvy teens who help seniors or any age person with their devices through one-on-one personalized coaching. We're not tech support, let me fix your phone, let me give it back to you. We want to empower seniors to connect with their loved ones, engage with their communities and the world through technology. So how did this come about? I pitched the idea of tech-savvy teens helping seniors right here at Fat Pipe, the first time I had ever been here, this spring, for Startup Weekend Women. Through the work of an incredible team, we won first place. Then Teeniors was accepted to ABQID Accelerator, graduated from that in August. How many people went to Demo Day? Yay, good group of you. And now you see in the bottom right picture, that is my brother Greg helping me. He's here in the audience. Hi, Greg. And then Greg has a full-time job and is married and definitely has a life, but I was so desperate for admin support in the last month and a half. I was like, will you please give up at least 10 hours a week to help me return phone calls, schedule interviews with teens, because we have been super busy. It has been moving very fast. Our first event took place in the South Valley at Badella Senior Center. This was in July. That event went phenomenally well. We had seniors lined up at the door waiting for our arrival. And all they had done was put up a quick bulletin on the bulletin board the week before. So the teens, I think we helped 21 seniors in 90 minutes with 6 or 7 teens. And this was our first event, just doing customer discovery, not knowing if anyone was even going to show up. Everyone learned a ton about smartphones. Everyone had a blast. The center said it was our best event ever. And since then, we've gotten call after call from other senior centers wanting to work with us, not just in Albuquerque, but around the state. After one event, just word of mouth. We also got our first paying client. Home Care Assistance of Albuquerque, a private senior care facility up in the Northeast Heights, hired us twice now, 65% gross margin for a 2-hour group event to help not only their clients, but their staff learn their technology better. Our competition is vast, but the bottom line is, if they offer a great personal service, they're extremely expensive, up to $150 an hour. If they don't, then the best you probably get is Genius Bar at Apple, where it's sort of curt, quick, let me fix this for you, or let's pay to have it fixed. As you can imagine, those can be really intimidating environments for seniors. No senior likes calling tech support. They love it as much as you and I do. They don't like getting somebody that has an accent that they can't understand, that speaks in terminology that they don't get. They don't want to be condescended to. They don't want to be made to feel stupid. They are just learning technology. And with some of the seniors we worked with in this last month, they are 90 years old, learning, getting an iPad for Christmas and trying to figure out how to work it. So it's been a really amazing thing. I can talk about our competition all day, but honestly, I'm not that interested, because what we do that distinguishes us is we target seniors and we prioritize that personal experience. We've also been very fortunate to get fantastic media coverage this summer. And it's been so helpful, because when I have to cold call someone, if they've already heard of us through the news, it establishes instant credibility. So here's how it works. We book clients, we hire teams, we come to you. We're focusing on 2 revenue streams: private sessions, which start at $35 an hour, and group events, the cost of which depends on the number of seniors being helped. Here's our market. And what I find fascinating about this market is, this is how seniors are marketed to now. None of us are getting any younger. This is not the kind of world I want to live in, and there is this belief system that anyone over 50 already knows what they like, and they're never going to change their mind. I think that is a ridiculous notion. Only 14% of advertising dollars in the country goes towards the senior market. And to me, that's ridiculous. Greg and I attended a senior conference this year that draws thousands of seniors from across New Mexico. Actually, not even just seniors, anyone over 50. They have great workshops, they do all these great things, but the entire exhibitor's booth was healthcare, and what did you say, Greg? How to help ease you into your grave easier. That is honestly the kind of marketing you get towards older people. And if I may say one more thing, I think what the existing products in the market haven't yet done is create that emotional connection, which is the true litmus test of a brand. What they do is highlight and reinforce the debilitating effects of aging. These are our teens, just a few of them. They're amazing. Sarah there at the top right corner, she's sitting in the front. She's a UNM student, super bright. I love her. I cannot tell you what it's been like to work with these kids. In October was our busiest month ever. I came upon a situation to where I needed 22 teens in 6 days. 8 of them I needed the next morning, I found out. So it was an incredible opportunity to figure out how I was going to promote that quickly. Someone was kind enough to let me talk to their UNM engineering class in a pinch. I got 2 applicants there who are now working with us. Then I did a Facebook post. And this was the first time I'd ever done one. I thought that, a few friends would just throw it to some teachers and I might get a few applicants. It got shared over 500 times. And I now had 85 teen applicants in 6 days. 85, just in Albuquerque alone. Really amazing. Thank you. Okay. This is the part I don't have memorized, so I'm going to refer to my notes. Oh, thanks. Zach, can you handle this and take me to our progress page? Okay. So, in addition to the 7 events we had done in 7 weeks, for those of you who heard me at Demo Day, we've done an additional 8 events. It's been really exciting. We've had 15 so far. The 85 local youth who applied, potential partnerships. This has been great. Did anyone hear about the Flying Star Cafe event tonight? Yay, Renee. Shad, awesome. Okay, for those of you who don't know, Flying Star Cafe contacted Teeniors last month and said, we love what you're doing. We would love to work with you. Would you like to work with us? And I said, absolutely. We love Flying Star. It's a local chain. For those of you who don't know, it's a local eatery. There's several of them in Albuquerque. Their flagship store on Juan Tabo is having their 28th anniversary this month. So it's very exciting for them. They also are moving forward toward technology. So if you guys know Flying Star, you know that they offer these cards, like rewards cards, like a frequent flyer card. They have done away with them completely. They've collaborated with an app company called Thanx, T-H-A-N-X, who provides restaurants these reward point systems. So basically you download the app, put your credit card in, then you never have to touch anything. Every time you eat at Flying Star with that credit card, it just knows. It sends the points to your app. So it's very cool, right? Guess what? Nobody is loving this idea when it comes to Flying Star's customers who are like over 50. So Flying Star said, in addition to collaborating, do you think you guys could help us with this? I said, absolutely. Teeniors does not recommend anything. We don't say, you should get an iPhone over an Android, Mr. Smith. We don't do that. We say, why don't you find out what your family has? Because it might be easier to connect with them based on the devices they have. We don't ask for passwords. We don't ask for credit card information. So when I told Flying Star that we would partner with them on a free community event, I said, we will not be promoting things. You can announce that that is a thing, and we will say, you want to download that? Sure, let us show you how. We won't be taking their credit card info, anything like that. But we will have a fantastic time. There'll be tons of people that want to come to this, and you guys, you'll see how it goes. It's really an inspiring, beautiful thing to see Teeniors at work. That is taking place tonight from 5 to 7. Free to everyone to attend. Please show up or tell the older loved ones in your life about it if they would like help with their devices. Uber New Mexico has contacted me this month and is super interested in collaborating with Teeniors. There have been many companies who have called us to collaborate. And to be honest with you, I'm being very strategic. First of all, I'm a one-woman show, so I only have so much time and bandwidth. My Teeniors are wonderful. Greg is awesome, and of course, Zach is this great advisor over here in the corner. But I can only do so much at once, and I'm trying to make sure, and I think this, for those of you with experience with startups might understand, it becomes that you have so little bandwidth that you become more reacting to things rather than proactively going after the things you want because you're so busy trying to run what already is. That was one of the hard things about doing 1 Million Cups. Love Eric Renz-Whitmore. He's always been supportive of everything. I've known him from the film industry for a long time. But I was hesitant to do it because I was like, honestly, I don't know if I could take new advice because I'm already implementing so much advice. And I'm just overwhelmed. And then I realized that's what my ask could be. Like, I'm overwhelmed. Who knows of time-saving things that I could do that would help? The hardest part so far about this, and I don't know if this is just being a woman, I don't know if it's being a certain personality type, has been over the course of the summer while I was doing the accelerator especially, and you might relate to this, when I said I didn't know anything about startups, people assumed I didn't know anything. That has been really challenging to deal with. And so for that, Zach, can you take us to the me page? I didn't get a chance to put a picture up, but I think it might be back a couple. I might have skipped it. Oh, sorry, there it is. Let me tell you a little bit about me. My background is as a professional in the film and media industry. I've been working in it for 13 years since college. I've worked with everyone from Hollywood executives to political leaders. I've managed huge projects under very tight budgets with very challenging personalities. I know how to get things done. My strength is in the people side, in sales, in marketing, in PR, in managing programs. Where I lack skill is, or lack the aptitude, is for technology. I just talked to these guys over here, this great team that's now working with ABQ Soul, and I'm like, I wish I could hire you. Bringing to my next point, which is we are making revenue. Teeniors has been making thousands of dollars. I'll let you wonder what those thousands are since this summer, but I certainly do not have enough to hire anybody at this point except for to pay Greg $10 an hour to do some admin work for me. So I'm hoping that will change. I have done the first draft of my business plan and am going to send that to my mentor, Shad, to get an idea of just how close I am to getting to the point of asking for investment. I am a very big person on under-promise and over-deliver. And in some ways, I actually think that's hurt me because maybe it doesn't sell as well as being like, oh, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take over AARP. So we'll see how it goes. But about me, I do have a professional background. It is not in the startup area. About our amazing Teeniors, they come from all walks of life. They can be anywhere from 14 to 28. And that has been expanding because we have seen so much interest. My 13-year-old niece and her friends dying to be Teeniors, even when I was like, everybody starts as a volunteer. You're not going to just get paid right away. We see if it's a fit. Oh, I wouldn't even do this for money. I would do this on Saturdays just for fun. I want to help people. I just like I help grandma. Comes up all the time. So 14 to 28, they come from all income levels. They come from all over Albuquerque. We have some amazing stories that I won't go into now because we don't have time and I don't want to start crying, but for those of you who saw it Demo Day, we have some really life-changing testimonials and stories from the seniors we've worked with. In fact, I do a customer feedback review with every single senior. So I've got amazing data from over 200 seniors so far on what devices they like, what questions they have, who they normally go to for tech support, their age, et cetera, which has also been very helpful. Okay, I think we are coming to a close. So assuming that there's anyone who wants to help, how you can help really is, I've put a flyer down for each of you along with my business card. If you're interested, I'll be happy to give you my personal cell phone number. That 600 number will go to my phone, but I usually let it go to voicemail since we're getting so many calls these days. I would love to have anyone that are contacts for senior centers because the senior center aspect is a much easier business model. We come in, do an event for 2 hours. It is this huge, vibrant, positive wave of energy that comes into the senior center for that morning. And then we're done. And it's a simple model. It's very social. Everyone loves it from the teens to the seniors. We have like 6 or 7 teens working in one room with a bunch of seniors. They sign in, tell us what their questions are. I say, Sarah, you're going to go work with Mr. Sanchez over here in the corner. Tyler, you're going to go work over here with Lisa on that side. And that's how those events tend to work. Everybody has been loving them so far, but I don't know anyone at senior centers. So I haven't even had to cold call yet because luckily with the word of mouth, everybody's been coming to us. But now that I've got this huge influx of teens, I'm like the boat's tipped this way again and I need to get more senior centers on board. So if you know anyone in those areas, please let me know. If you know of any ways that you've learned to streamline things, let me know. A dear friend of mine who's also doing a startup told me about liveplan.com. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but or maybe it's .org. LivePlan is this template for doing business plans. And if you don't have a business degree, if you don't have an MBA, it's insanely helpful. It just kind of gives you templates, what you should think about when answering these questions, and helps you develop a 10, 20, 30, 40-page business plan. And it's been really beneficial to me. So that was something that streamlines things that I'm trying to do. Tech, I absolutely need CRM. I absolutely need more support personnel, and eventually would like to see a couple of coordinators who can do these events, and just operating people, a CTO. I mean, there's so much needed that I could go on forever. But anyway, that's it for now. Thank you, everybody, so much. We are teeniors.com. You can follow us on social media. I would love to have you guys follow us on Twitter under Teeniors or Facebook under Teeniors to get updates. You can sign up for our newsletter. And if you have any questions, I'll take them now. Hi. It's tonight, 5 to 7. Which one? Flying Star Cafe on Juan Tabo.
Second one, are you limited to where you were traveling to? Is it Albuquerque Metro?
Albuquerque Metro right now, and we are trying to do events in Santa Fe, Las Lunas, Belen, We've also gotten a call in Ruidoso. We've gotten a call from many cities. Actually, we've gotten a call from 17 cities in New Mexico, but I haven't had time to go recruit teens in those areas to hold the event. Sorry, the question was, are we expanding outside of Albuquerque?
It seems to me that what you're growing, you could really franchise.
Yes, the idea to me, a big question that always comes up with Teeniors since we've had some early really great traction is scaling, is franchising. Franchising is the model that I tend to think of in my mind, but to be honest with you, I'm being very, very patient in having the scaling talk because a lot of startups that I know start talking about scaling immediately, and I honestly don't think it's wise at all. My life experience and my professional experience tells me concentrate on what you're doing, refine this, get it to a place where you're so solid on it, then I can talk to people about how we can grow it. Thank you. Yes?
For CRM, I use Streak initially, which integrates really well with Gmail, but you're going to outgrow that when you get to like 150 contacts.
Okay.
And you'll have to figure something else out. But Streak is like a really good place to start if you use Gmail and you're not like super into CRM already. But, eventually, and I'm not sure what's next.
Okay. Thank you for that. So the question was about CRM, isn't it customer relationship management?
Selling, getting people in a pipeline, and tracking
Right.
converting into sales.
So Streak, but only goes up to 150 contacts. Thank you.
They're changing their business model. It used to be all free. They're charging now. It doesn't really integrate well with like drip campaigns. But it's a start.
No, that's great. Thank you. Because I have just over 100 contacts in seniors, and just under 100 in seniors, just under 100 in teens. Right. It'll help for now. Sure. Yes, which is what I'm using now. Right now, everybody, I'm using Excel and Numbers, that free one that comes on your Mac.
Look at attached apps.
Attached apps. Okay.
From the first ABQID cohort.
Okay. I don't know about those companies, so thank you. I will. Hi.
You might want to also kind of have a plan of what you want to use your contacts for before you pick a CRM because there's about 1,000 of them and they're all fine. But if you pick the one that doesn't have the feature you need, you have to start over.
Definitely. Great point, and thank you for saying that. Yeah, that would be great. I actually have already started developing that. Like, here's what I need it for specifically. Like, I'm already using MailChimp for our newsletter, but mail merging, doing these different things where, like, for example, I would love to have a system where I can text 40 teens at once and say who's available Thursday. Like, things like that would be really helpful for me, especially text, because with teens, even more so than with millennials who are older, it's all about text. Hi, Charles.
Hi, I can help you out with that.
Yay. Thank you, Charles White, for texting a bunch of people at once. Yes, sir, in the front.
Hi, yes. Our nonprofit organization put on several workshops for senior centers in
Great.
the Albuquerque area.
Yeah.
And the city of Albuquerque has a contact person. If you get with me after this,
Yes.
we can swap information.
I would love that. Are you talking about the city centers?
Yes.
Those are the only ones that I absolutely actually have the contact for. Thank you so much. And the reason is because so you guys, there's a live-in residences where seniors live, and then there's the city centers for you who don't know about it. It's really helpful for anyone over 50. You're welcome to go to the senior centers, get really affordable, very cheap breakfasts, lunches, take all kinds of classes like Intro to Twitter, $5 for my mom a while back. It is not the same thing, I would argue, as Teeniors, because my mom was like, you're going way too fast for me. What do you mean URL? What are you talking about? So it depends on your proficiency level. But very affordable, cool stuff. There's 5 senior centers in Albuquerque, 2 multi-generational centers for people of any age. One of them, North Domingo Baca, has a great gym. So there's a lot of affordable things that the city puts on. And thank you. Those are the first people we worked with to do our free events. Nicole. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Nicole.
I wanted to ask, do you have any lead teeniors on your team? So like if you have several events throughout the week or something, do you have someone that you can call upon and say, I want you to kind of delegate this for me? Because it sounds to me like, how do you duplicate yourself is my question.
Right.
And how do you do it all? And so I'm just wondering.
That's a great question, Nicole. That actually came up for me during the accelerator. Like, how do you scale yourself? Especially for people who are solo founders, you really want to, the whole business, so you can talk about it to anyone. And in the case of the events, honestly, Sarah is becoming this great resource for me, because even though Sarah's going to school, and even though she's seeking to get a job eventually that can pay her on a regular basis, Teeniors, I kind of pay them as we do events. You know what I mean? Like, I'll say, we've got a volunteer event if anyone feels like volunteering, because we do one free event for every paid event. I'm really big on the social service of this, so that's why it's not going to pay the bills anytime soon. But I do believe that through scaling it can. To answer your question, though, what I have is key teens, because we're so new. I just did our first event 4 months ago, and because there are so many high schoolers that, for example, can't do a Wednesday 9 a.m. event, I need to rely on my older teens who are college students or just out of school, and so what I do is I think of the most tech-savvy teens and the most personable teens. When I say, for example, Mary met somebody that she really loved in an event. She just got a brand new iPad for her birthday. She wants a teenager to come work with her. Even if I don't know someone extremely well, I'm like, Sarah would be awesome for that. I know I can send her right now. Plus, she's 21. She can just go meet her at the public library. So we only do over 18 who do the individual private sessions.
Essentially, you're the matchmaker of the
Yeah.
seniors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it's working out. And that's the thing too, right, is as you guys know, when you're doing startups, everything is continuously being refined. So while I have broad answers for every question, everything keeps being refined. So I can see, oh no, wait, this is the more efficient way of doing that. This is the more efficient way of doing that. Charles.
Piggybacking off of her question there, do you have some sort of system to be able to kind of maybe rank them or maybe build out a profile for everything?
Yes, I don't have a technology system. That I would love. That is part of when I do a customer feedback review with seniors. Those of you who were at Demo Day this year and saw me give this very inspiring talk about the impact we had on one woman who had no young people in her life. I'm not even going to go into it. I can feel myself getting choked up. That was an example of me doing one of our customer feedback reviews, which I do with every single person for 5 minutes after they do a session, whether it's a group event or an individual session. What I would like to do is get that online, but because all seniors aren't tech savvy enough, what I need to do is just have it on my iPad, go up to them and say, give me your 5 stars, give me your this, give me your that. And right now I'm just writing all that and then entering it later. So I can absolutely streamline that, I just haven't had time. And the review system for teens has been great because I can tell Sarah, I don't know if you realize this, you've had 5 or 15 5-star sessions in a row. They said you're amazing, they said you're patient, they said you're kind, because it's motivating to the teens, and hopefully if I can get there technology-wise, maybe we can even gamify that, and that's how we can do reward systems and incentivize teens later. Thank you for that question. Yes.
I couldn't help noticing on your page, of your own resume page, of all the filmmaking and now what you're doing now, and this kind of follows up from the last question. I mean, what this seems to me to be more than a way of, is a story generator. That you're generating thousands of stories. I mean, you've already generated 1,000 stories, and the connection between the older person, I mean, this goes back in the whole history of our species, of the elder and the young person. But I mean, technology is now it's kind of magnified the distance.
Absolutely.
But I mean, in engineering, that the further two things are apart, the more of a moment of rotation, the more force you can generate at the center of that pivot. So it seems to be that I wondered if you were thinking that this is leading towards stories and filmmaking, and that maybe rather than thinking how can we make 1,000 of these in 1,000 cities, how does this grow? How does this respect the stories that are growing out of this, the impacts on the lives of the young people and the old people? Also on a purely business, the amount of market research that could be going on at the same time, because you look at the pathetic slides of the notion of what you market to people over 50.
Right.
So it seems like without even starting one more of these, it's like scaling horizontally, going out horizontally and seeing what's happening there. And I saw TED Talks on what happens to a pig, and the woman was saying that all these parts of the pig that go into pharmaceuticals and, nanotechnology and biological engineering, all the content that's being generated, you've created the spark that starts this. There's a need for it on this level. But it seems to me that's the most superficial level of what's going on there. I mean, you have these relationships that a child, a young person could be changed for life. When I shared an apartment with a woman who was 90 when I went to college. It's a little note. Her husband had just died. My life would be utterly different without that connection. And
Right.
you're facilitating these things on a
Yes.
routine basis. So what's up?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think you might be underestimating my thinking process. No. I just mean, because you're absolutely right. One thing I didn't touch on with this audience, and I guess it's kind of, I assume that so many of you were at demo day, so I shouldn't make that assumption. So many of you don't know about Teeniors, and absolutely, without a doubt, after doing this hardcore for the past 4 months since it started, if there is one thing I know for sure, the most promising, beneficial aspect of Teeniors is not tech support. The most value we bring is not tech support. It is human connection. Absolutely, human connection. And the extent to which we realize that and stay true to that is the extent to which I believe we will succeed. So to your point, absolutely, from a media perspective, I wasn't a filmmaker. I was always working in a place where decisions were being made about what films were going to happen, how we were going to negotiate a deal, how we were going to reach out to underserved communities, how I was going to connect independent filmmakers with people who might be able to fund their projects, things like that. So I worked in a number of different areas. I did not hold the camera and create the films myself. But for the very first time, and as you guys can imagine, most of the ideas that you're thinking of, we not only think of, but I'm like, I can only make one happen at a time. For example, I've got a videographer friend of mine coming for the very first time to film Teeniors tonight at Flying Star. Latino USA is doing a segment, that's, for those of you who don't know, that's a national show, featuring Teeniors next month. Innovate Her, a local SBA competition that goes national every year. We just won second place on Friday. I could go on and on with different things that also take up time, but what's definitely not lost on me is the senior and teen element. In fact, that is, like I said, what distinguishes us. And anybody will tell you, from the teens to the seniors, did they learn about how to use FaceTime on their iPad? Yes. But really, do I care that much what technology they're using? Or no, I care about human connection. My goal in life is to connect people of different worlds, to see new insights and learn new things that they hadn't thought of before, and hopefully be inspired and add to bettering the world. So thank you for that.
Quick question.
Yeah.
On a side note, let's sit afterwards. I've got an idea for you. But on the onset, you have one of the things that's been extremely hard for anybody here is to relinquish some control.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you get a couple of seniors as well to do the questioning for you.
Yeah.
That way there's that
That's a great idea.
with someone that they're saying that they can sit down, someone that is tech savvy with an iPad that can ask the questions and say, now, honestly, what do you think?
Right.
And so now you're getting
Absolutely.
age to age.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the beginning, when we love something or we created something or whatever, we all kind of feel this little bit of ownership towards it, like, well, okay, I'm handing it off, but do it right. Like, I can honestly say I am past that point. I'm like, I am so in need of help because I can feel myself getting overwhelmed, and I know that this isn't sustainable. Like, you know, I've got a 2-year-old daughter that we prioritize more than anything, and so when something falls off the plate, it's not going to be my daughter. It's going to be my partner. It's because she and Teeniors are what are getting prioritized. But anyway, thank you, Larry. Yes, that's a great point. And as soon as I can create that survey where someone can just do it on an iPad, in fact, maybe I'll do that tonight, we will be handling it that exact way.
So the last question we always ask, how can we as a community help you and Teeniors grow?
Thank you so much. Just now that you guys even know about this, if you're supportive of the idea of Teeniors, please tell those people you know who are any age person that might need help with their devices. Please tell teens, because I have got a small army of teens in Albuquerque right now, but I absolutely need teens in other areas, and I absolutely will need more in Albuquerque. Because it's a constantly rotating schedule. And some of them are like, I might be only able to work once a month, once a year, but I still want to be a teenior, okay? Because they have busy schedules. Some of these academy kids are like around the clock doing volunteering and all this stuff they have to do. So seniors you know, teens you know, any kind of streamlining processes for admin, please, by all means. And just your support. Thank you for the positive energy, guys.
Let's try not to trip. It's, yeah, you can see why, why we love Trish and what she's doing with Teeniors. And I think this is just sort of emblematic of what we love about our community, is that it's about people, working together, helping each other, and that's one of the reasons why we love this event. So I want to thank you for coming. This is a special Global Entrepreneurship Week, 1 Million Cups, so our program's just a tiny bit different, and we'll have a special video, and we'll cut to Kansas City and do some other things. But before we do that, we can't do this event without, oh my heavens, this is almost like we planned it. We want to thank our sponsors. So Sabio Systems, Nick's in the back. We want to thank Sabio Systems for providing, keeping us caffeinated on a weekly basis. Absolutely necessary. It doesn't happen without it. This is an awesome space. This is like well, it's not quite the epicenter, but it's just right smack dab in the middle of downtown and the Innovation Central. And this is really where it happens. So big thanks to Lisa and Fat Pipe and Stuart for creating this space and bringing all sorts of kinds of people together. We love Sarah with Hartford Square, who actually provides the good coffee, and C&M Stimulus Center, Technology Ventures for helping out, Nick Lehman Media, Booyah Media, and some other good folks like us. In addition to that, we also want to thank Brian, because Brian Steiner with Noventum, because people love donuts. Who loves donuts? Consider them for your web and software development needs. I'm going to hit a few different events. There's a ton of, how many people have been to a Global Entrepreneurship Week event? And you may not know that you have been. Okay. So there have been all sorts of different events that are happening this week. Lots of great partners. If you want to have an opportunity to see some of the people and organizations that are making things happen in this town, just look at gewabq.com/events. But you'll see all sorts of events. Today is probably the peak of event activity that happens during the week, and I'm going to run down some of those. Before we do that, I want to recognize STC at UNM. They've got some guests with them today, I believe. Is that true? Can we raise some hands? We've got some foreign visitors who are making things happen. Thank you for visiting our town of Albuquerque. And we want to promote Albuquerque in all sorts of good ways. So the more that you're using all sorts of hashtags, basically you can't have any content in your tweet whatsoever. It's all hashtags because people love that. But SWABQ, if you want to support the teams we've got 3 teams that are entering a global startup battle. They all the winning teams from this past weekend, all women-led, which is really super cool. All building stuff that matters. If you want to help support them and get Albuquerque into the top 10 worldwide for events that happened this past weekend, so that people around the world know, hey, what's going on? Albuquerque must be a cool place. Please tweet with SWABQ. But there's a ton of other things. We're part of the Global Startup Battle. This is GEWABQ Week. And then also, if you want to get on the national radar and help us in the city kind of promote the idea that, Kaufman Foundation, you made a wise choice. Picking Albuquerque is one of the places you want to promote. Go ahead and hit GEW 2015 if you're going to one of these events. So I want to thank you for doing that. Now those events. Immediately following this, have you ever wanted to be an angel investor? Do you want to get investment or learn how all that works? Okay, so in that case, immediately following this, we have John Chavez with the New Mexico Angels is going to give a special workshop on, they do kind of a standard investment workshop, but today it's a little bit special where you get to step into the shoes of an angel investor and find out what it takes to make that decision. So you're giving money, or you're not giving money, you're investing the money from your group, from your team in great local companies. That immediately follows this here at Fat Pipe. Almost across the street. All these things are like within walking distance. It's amazing. Pat McNamara, he's a genius about pitching. He's a genius about communicating the value of a startup. He's going to be talking at 2 p.m., and that's part of the ABQ ID Accelerator Speaker Series. That's right over across the street over at Verge Building, ABQ ID. Let's see. Trying to get the order right on this. So there is also Innovation Academy at UNM. They have a startup school. That's going to be in the back here at Fat Pipe. That's with Mike Silva from such places as Rude Boy Cookies and Albuquerque Trolley and like 2 or 3 other ones, Duke City Peddler. There is a chance, and I'm not going to guarantee this, but he often brings cookies. So 3 to 5 p.m., I don't know, I'm just a huge fan of those cookies, so I'm definitely going to be here, but I would advise, he's going to talk about team building. Awesome guy, just a great ambassador for our city, so I would advise you to be there for that. Village Capital later in the afternoon, they're inviting folks over to talk with the teams that are part of their water forum. Great teams, some of whom we think may be landing here in Albuquerque, and we'd love to show them that Albuquerque loves them. So try to get over there. I think that's 4:30 or 5. 5 o'clock over across the street, that's at Epicenter. Well Women Drinks. Well Women Drinks, you heard from Giovanna Rossi a couple weeks ago. She's going to be over at West, also within walking distance. That starts, I believe, at 5 as well. And if you are still standing from all this kind of stuff and want to blow off some steam, Tractor Brewing has Karaoke Kamikaze. So we're going to do a special sort of ABQ Web Geeks kind of thing over at Tractor Brewing in Wells Park. I see some people signing up already. So enough kamikaze. I'll just hit 2 events, 2 or so events tomorrow. Tazas, they're kind of the Spanish language bilingual version of 1 Million Cups. That and South Valley Economic Development Center, they're having an open house tomorrow. I hope we can all get there, get a good showing from this 1 Million Cups over there, because they're doing amazing things and there's a lot of great programs there. In the evening, we occasionally talk about Slack, which apparently is replacing email. For those of you who are just picking up email now, don't bother. Move over to Slack. If you want to learn more, Charles White, who's part of the 1 Million Cups team, he's doing a thing on Thursday night. And then on Friday, we've got Creative Mornings, and we've got Be Your Own Boss. Many of us are entrepreneurs in our own right. We're building our own companies. We're solopreneurs. Join us over at Epicenter. I've talked way too long. We've got a great video that's coming up. And we'd like to have Mr. Gary Uppadall, Chief Entrepreneur in Residence for the City of Albuquerque and Economic Development guy. Yeah.
Thanks, Eric. And isn't this great? This is the kind of thing that Trish talked about. It's so important to connect with each other. We've got all the assets we need if we'll connect with each other, communicate, and collaborate. So I want to thank Eric and Steve and the whole team here who puts this on every week. And thank you, Fat Pipe, for hosting it. So speaking of mixing, not everybody knows to come here yet. Can you believe it? So what we're doing is we're trying to get out in the community and show people that there's resources for anybody with an idea. And so one of the things we thought about doing is involving our librarians. Why? Because they are in the community, they're trusted by the community, they have a servant heart, they have a master's degree in helping people find information. And people who don't self-identify as entrepreneurs might be doing primary or secondary research and run into a librarian who says, wow, what are you trying to do? Well, I'm thinking about starting a business, and hooking them into this. So this short video talks about that. All entrepreneurs deserve access to resources that will help them be successful. To ensure that anyone with an idea for a product or service has that opportunity, Mayor Barry and the city's Economic Development Department opened the first TREP Center at the Central Unser Library in August of 2015.
The smart business person knows that the public library is the place to come to find virtually unlimited resources to help them make their business better. All they need to have is a library card. The library is useful to an entrepreneur because they're able to book a one-on-one session with a librarian who knows about the expansive resources that are available with the public library.
Being a first-time entrepreneur is very intimidating with all the requirements and all the data you need to gather. When I came into the TREP Center, I really didn't know what to expect. And when I sat down for that one-on-one interview and the librarian was showing me all the resources I had at my fingers and how to log in and get into those, I felt much better. All of a sudden, the weight on my shoulder and the overwhelming feeling went away. I went from, oh my God, I don't think I can do this, what was I thinking, to I can definitely do this. I would highly recommend the TREP Center to other entrepreneurs, whether they're just starting out or whether they've been in business for a while, because the information that they provide and the help that they provide is invaluable.
So our libraries are critical. You're sitting in a library, right? An older library. And I just want to honor our librarians. So if you're a librarian, could you please stand up? So together, we really need to make an entrepreneurial ecosystem that people want to stay in. We don't want to lose any more Bill Gates. I don't know if people caught this. Last week, Scorpios announced that they're going to stay here and build their product here. Scorpios was Stephen Kasulik came out of MCOR and they cracked the holy grail on silicon photonics. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's huge. They could become our next Intel right here locally. And they got recruited from Pennsylvania, Texas, California, and we kept them here because this community. So you guys are the heroes here who tell people, look, this is a good place to start a business and a good place to grow a business. So thanks very much.
All right, so one of the things we're also doing here today is, as you've heard, so Global Entrepreneurship Week is a global event.
In your company's firewall like they did with Target. No.
I'll speak over him for just a second. So what we're doing is we're joining basically any of the companies that presented here was eligible to join a thing